Restaurants are starting to open up slowly, but it's still weird to go out. Bars are opening up slowly, but still weird to go out. Uh, last week we were still protesting, but for some reason I didn't feel afraid to go out to protest. It's crazy. I feel strange going out to eat, but felt like let's go during the protest.
Okay. What protest did you go to? What protest did you attend?
The marches in Hollywood, the ones in downtown, a couple in downtown, and then two in Hollywood and two downtown.
And did people recognize you, or you were just you had the mask on so nobody knows what it is?
Yeah, I had the mask on and the glasses, but I wasn't like incognito to like, yo, I don't want to be recognized. I was incognito like, I don't want to catch COVID.
Right. But you had the guts to go out there, so I really respect it. So you're from Los Angeles. You grew up in what part of Los Angeles?
I grew up in East LA. We were the only black family in an all Mexican neighborhood.
Oh man.
Until I was about 20, until I was 23. Actually until I was about 26. Like after we got our first Grammy, I was 27 years old. I was still in East LA.
It's still in East LA. Hold on, let me see your face, bro. We gotta see your face. There you go. There you go, brother. What was it like growing up as a black man in an all-Mexican neighborhood? What was that experience like? Because I know it's black and Mexican out there can be a little funny. Am I right?
It could, but we were fortunate because my grandma was best friends with the guy that started the gang in our neighborhood in the 50s or whatever that was. His mom was good friends with my grandma, like best friends growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the best, most beautifulest. It was the best. I mean, if you had to tell me, yo, what memories do you want to keep? The memories of touring the world or the memories of you in the projects? I would say the memories in the projects, because those memories are why I am who I am today. So I could recreate exactly what I have because I have that foundation, those memories, those experiences, that life. I value that. Being in the projects, all Mexican neighborhood, that shit was the most beautifulest thing. Like, and I've seen so much. I've seen, Black Appeases is super successful, made a lot of money with beats, but god damn it, my life in the projects around all Mexicans, I wouldn't change it for the world.
Now, when you were growing up, obviously we know you for who you are now, the way you dress, your style, everything. How were you dressing, and what was your style like back then? Was it anything like it is now? Were you always the same person?
Before MC Hammer, I dressed like De La Soul.
Okay.
19 no, because MC Hammer was before De La Soul. I try to dress like
No, MC Hammer was after. MC Hammer was after De La Soul.
Okay, so I was like I was a little bit MC Hammer and Kwame. When my mom gave me the freedom to dress how I wanted to, the first thing I dressed like was MC Hammer.
Okay.
And because before that I wore suits, because my mom was like, you ain't gonna be out there in them streets looking like the dudes in the streets and get yourself in trouble, so you put this suit on. So right. I was in the projects with suits.
And how did they look at you in the projects with a suit on? Like, what were people saying? Because it seemed like you going to Wall Street. You in the projects, bro.
No, but when I say suits, I'm talking about thrift store suits. Like, I always had like suit slacks. I didn't really have like play clothes. I didn't have sweatsuits. I had suit slacks that were always too big for me because we were really poor. And I would wear t-shirts and vests or suit jackets. I always had church clothes on. And then I could dress how I wanted to dress. So my mom took me to Michael Levine's to pick out material so she could make my clothes.
Right.
And so I told her to make me MC Hammer pants. And so ever since like 1988, 89, I wore MC Hammer pants. And then when Native Tongues came around, I was like, yo, this is me. Them dudes.
Right.
Them dudes. I wanted to be like Pasta Noose and Q-Tip, and that's when I found like this is the way I want to express myself, like these cats, because they, you know, they sent free. They weren't trying to dress like the gangsters. And then, ironically, in 1992, I got signed to Eazy-E. That's when I started rocking with Ruthless, dressing like freaking, Diggable Planets and Tribe Called Quest.
Okay, so I wouldn't expect Ruthless Records, the home of NWA, to sign a guy that's behaving and moving like Tribe Called Quest. How did you wind up meeting Eazy-E? What was the story behind that?
I used to freestyle, and I used to win this rap contest every week for like a year and a half, 2 years. I was like the reigning champion at this rap contest that people like Leonardo DiCaprio went to. Bud Bundy, he had this underage club for Married with Children, and everybody went there in Hollywood. And I got picked up by this dude. His name is Shifty Shell Shock, from a group called Crazy Town. And I've known him ever since junior high school. And there's this other guy by the name of DJ AM. DJ AM, I've known DJ AM ever since junior high school. And so we all went to this club called Ballistics. And, Eazy-E got wind of this underage club that all the Hollywood people went to, people from like television shows, 90210. That was like the Hollywood spot. But I didn't know. I'm from East LA. A friend of mine from Beverly Hills used to pick me up in his Bronco, because I used to go to a school called Pacific Palisades. So I lived in an all Mexican neighborhood, went to an all white school, and then was tearing the mic up in Hollywood. And Eazy-E sent some scouts over there, because that's when Dre left. Ice Cube left first, Dre left second. So Eazy-E started getting a whole new roster of talent. And so I was one of those cats that was a part of Eazy-E's roster. So I used to ghostwrite for them. And he was like, nigga, freestyle, nigga, you crazy, nigga. Freestyle, nigga. So I used to like, boom, check it out, off the top. So I got signed because I freestyle.
Okay, wait, hold on. Now, who did you, well, you can't say who you ghost wrote for, but so you did do projects that we wouldn't expect. You did write on projects that we wouldn't expect you to have written on?
So 5150 was the album. So I got a song with Eazy-E, 2 songs with Eazy-E that are out. One is called Merry Motherfucking Christmas, the first song I ever recorded. That song is like, it was a tongue-in-cheek. You don't take it serious. It's just fucking around saying Merry Motherfucking Christmas. And then another song called Niggas and Jews. It was me, Eazy-E, and a group called Blood of Abraham. And Ben Yard from Blood of Abraham, he still to this day directs a lot of Black Eyed Peas videos. So Eazy-E was just like, he was an entrepreneur. Think about that cat. He signed JJ Fad. He signed Blood of Abraham. He signed the first white girl rapper, Terry B. He signed, this guy by the name of, he had a flat top with a blonde square on it. I forgot his name. But Eazy-E was super eclectic if you think about the things he signed.
So now, what was your first impression when you met Eazy-E? Because I'm thinking, fuck the police. I'm thinking gangster. I'm thinking street dude. What was your first impression upon walking up and meeting him?
So that's the thing. Like, when you think of street dude, Arabian Prince was street dude. Egyptian Lover, street dude. And when you think of Dr. Dre, he was in like, think about Dr. Dre. That streets is not just like gangster rap.
Right.
Gangster rap came at like the streets is so eclectic. So to limit streets just to like what corporate America said black music was, so we could fill up prisons. Nah, bro.
So he was
Eazy-E's proof of that.
right.
Like my family tree is connected to Ruthless, the hardest gangster rap label, but they also did Where JJ Fad and We're Here to Rock. My fine rhymes can never be stopped, right? Supersonic. And that was all like, you know, inspired by African Bambaataa, which is inspired by Kraftwerk.
Mm-hmm.
So hip hop is not just, you know, street gangster rap, because the streets is so diverse.
100%. I mean, you are 100% right about gangster. There's different sides of the street. I come from the street, you come from the street, and we make different kinds of music. So the street has all kinds of people in it. And I do agree with you when you say that some of the music is made to fill up the prisons. And people, if you don't know about that, just go Google it. What do you remember your last conversation with Eazy?
Yeah. So every birthday, my birthday is March 15th. We signed to Eazy and Ruthless in 1992. So in 1992, it was like November of 92, September. I got my first record deal, $10,000. I'm like, yo, came home with a $10,000 check. My mom, think about it. My mom was younger than me right now. I'm freaking 16. I just turned 17 years old.
Right.
I come home with a $10,000 check. I was like, Ma, look. She's like, boy, what's that? I was like, who gave you $10,000? I was like, Ma, I got a record deal. Ain't nobody gave you no business to be getting no record deal. Give me that goddamn check. What is this? Ruthless Records. I was like, Ma, Eazy-E, NWA. Now, who told you could sign this goddamn record deal?
Because you were too young.
Who is your attorney? Ma, I got an attorney. What's his name? Robert Lieberman. And who introduced you to this Robert Lieberman? Jerry Heller told me, he gave me my attorney. This motherfucker gave me my attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well,
so hold on. I've just turned 17 years old. We signed to Ruthless. And I'm like, yo, Jerry, bro, like, we don't got an attorney. He's like, don't worry about it, little buddy. I'll get you an attorney. The classic story. So I come home. My mom's like furious. But then my brother, I was like, Ma, can I just cash the check? I want to, you know, it's my money. So she let me cash the check. And after that, every March 15th, Eazy-E would take me to Monty's in Calabasas. This is before Kanye and the Kardashians were in Calabasas. We used to go to Calabasas every single weekend to go to dinner with them. But every birthday, we would go to Monty's. And every Friday, we would go up there to get our $150 check. So that was the deal. We get signed for $10,000, and every Friday we go
get a check.
Get our per diem.
That's that typical record company. Go ahead.
Right? So I would go to school like I already got. My mom was like, "You better study, Willie. You better get your butt in that school. You getting fails." I was like, "Mom, they're not." I was so arrogant because I was like, I got a record deal already, and I was in the projects, and everybody in the hood were like, "Hey, Willie signed the fucking Eazy-E, dog." Like all the fucking cholos, they said, like, "Hey, fool, tell that fucking Eazy-E to come over here, Baton." Like, if you saw me, Fat Man Scoop, like, if you saw me when I was 17, dog, I talk like this, they say. For real, dog, like, no mentiras, Holmes. Like, that's how my whole fucking family talks, Holmes.
Right, so you
would have, if you see my aunt, like, and then he had Eazy-E knew people that knew my people in the projects.
Right.
Willie's my name in the projects. Hey, Willie, my homeboy know one of your homeboys from that neighborhood, nigga. And so, and when I went back to my neighborhood in the projects, they were like, "Hey, fucking Willie, dog, you know fucking Eazy-E, huh? Hey, tell that fucker I said what's up, dog." So I just had so much love and respect for my neighborhood. And so when I would go to school, I was like, I got this made. I got it made. So when Eazy-E passed away, to your first question, the last thing, it was March the 18th, 1995. He was like, "Well, I can't take you for your birthday this year, but I'll be out real soon. I got bronchitis." March the 18th, he told me, "I got bronchitis. I So March 15th, sorry. March 15th, I got bronchitis. But I'm going to send my homeboys over there, Pat and Jim Bob, so you can continue working on 100 watts. So this group that I used to write for called 100 watts. He was like, yo, I got this group. They my homeboys I grew up with. What should be the name? I was like, call them niggas 100 watts. Let's call them 100 watts.
Because of the
so
Watts neighborhood?
Because I like, so that's what we were working on, Pat, Jim Bob. And so March 15th, I was supposed to go to dinner with him like always. But I talked to him. He was like, when I get out, I got bronchitis. When I get out, MTV really likes y'all's video. And I really want to focus on y'all's group. Diggable Planets is big. I was like, yo, this is group about to come out, Farside. We've been signed to Ruthless before them. I was like, we should come out. We should be out already. Farside, like, why are you going to let them niggas come out before us? We never came out. We were that group. We were that classic group of like a dope group that signed to a label, and we never came out.
Yeah, but Will, that happens to a lot of people. Fat Man Scoop was in a group called the Biz Boys, who was signed to Teddy Riley, which was GR Productions. Never came out. That guy came out later as Fat Man Scoop. This guy came out later as will.i.am. Sometimes it's not supposed to be on that label. Speaking of which, you're the second person that I heard say something about Jerry Heller. Have you ever gone back to Jerry Heller and said, listen, man, what you did wasn't cool? Or have you had any kind of conversation with him about those business practices? Because everybody complained about it. Ice Cube, eventually Dre, and that's not just watching the movie, that's just hearing it. Did you ever go back to him and complain, or did you just let bygones be bygones?
No, I didn't. We are so fortunate that we had that experience. All I know is I'm in the projects, I got $10,000. Our record never came out, but I learned so much. So, I didn't get hurt in that because I didn't get screwed. I came up on 10 G's and free studio time. And I learned. And I kept a pretty cool relationship with Jerry afterwards. He would be like, little buddy, especially when Black Eyed Peas blew up. He was like, I'm so proud of you, little buddy. I'm so proud of you guys. I always knew him. There was the guy named Jerry Ballard, Eazy-E, and Mike Kearns, or whatever it is. But there was a dark energy. There was some like darkness at Ruthless. And we were just innocent little kids. I didn't smoke weed. We were and we were just around the most thugginess. I never met Suge. And even when we signed, it was crazy because then we signed to Interscope.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Beats blew up, I'm like, yo, Dre, what is the odds? What are the odds that when you left Ruthless, I signed with Eazy, then Eazy passed away, we started Black Eyed Peas, now we're on Interscope, and now we at Apple with Beats, and I'm a part of Beats? Like, what are the fucking odds?
Crazy. When it's supposed to happen, it's supposed to happen. My last question about Jerry Heller. Being that you went through this experience, what are some of the things that you experienced that you could tell young artists to look for in deals or situations that are not right?
Hey, you remember the rap seminar and like all these like hip hop summits and shit? Like, we don't have that nowadays. We don't have those things. So I remember when I hate saying this too because it sounds like some uncle shit. Like, when we was coming up, like,
right.
I don't like saying that. Like, so I remember like on my journey, from the beginning, it was about get knowledged up, like know your business. And there's a lot of kids right now that know their business and owning your masters, but there's so much more than just to owning your masters. It's about networking. It's about like not depending on folks And Instagram is cool. This is all great and groovy and all, but there's so much more in brand building. There's so much like international knowledge and knowing all the versions of you throughout the world. So whatever type of artist you are, whatever type of entrepreneur you want to be, or entrepreneur, like an artist entrepreneur, like a person that is like navigating his or her career. Managers are great, but Jeff Bezos doesn't have a manager. Managers are great, but Jack Dorsey doesn't have a manager. Managers are great, but Phil Knight doesn't have a manager. Managers are awesome, but the folks that build mega fucking brands, they don't have managers. They have companies. So artists have to come. I would inspire. I would try to like relay the importance of artists building companies, and music is just a part of the company that they build. Because for some reason, I have nothing against managers. They're awesome. But a lot of times in our industry, managers are only after the quick dollar. They're after that quick return that they could commission. And when it comes to long play money, back end deals, and cashing in 5-10 years from now, no one has the patience to see that far.
Mm-hmm.
And all the folks, the Jeff Bezoses, the Jack Dorseys from Twitter, it's all long play. It's all, I'm gonna build this right now, and I'm gonna see the return 5 years from now. And these people that I collaborate, all the different versions of me around the world, we are gonna create and own this empire, right? We're gonna own our intellectual property, not just in songs, but in, logos and products and merch. And, Rihanna, she played the long game. Salute. Kanye, he played the long game, but realized he was playing the long game and got frustrated in between and was like spazzing out, and then realized that it's the long game.
How did Rihanna play the long game, and how did Kanye play the long game so that people will understand? Because I understand, but we need them to understand. How did they play the long game, and what was the play?
So first off, like artists, they get managed in a way that, they're selling somebody else's product. And so they get an advance. I'm going to get you $1 million check right now, and we're going to sign you exclusive to this particular brand. And you have to show up to all these events, and you need to sport their brand and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's the short game. The long game is like, we're going to set up, I found this factory in Malaysia, or I found this factory in Indonesia, or I found this factory in Mexico, or we're going to build a factory in freaking Watts. We're going to build a factory in Fifth Ward, Mississippi. We're going to transform the South Bronx and these broken down buildings and build manufacturing in our community. And we are going to see a return 10 years from now. That's a long game.
Right.
And we're going to go raise money and we're going to start this fund. And I'm pulling money from these folks, but we're not going to take the money now. We're going to invest it, and the return is 10 years from now. That's a long game.
So people, I'll explain it like this. Rihanna taking a shot with Fenty Beauty and making makeup for dark-skinned women and killing it, long play.
That's long.
Kanye West leaving Nike, that's the hottest shit ever, going to Adidas, creating Yeezy, long play. will.i.am going and creating companies within tech, long play. So you have to be, you can't just look at the short dollar, you have to look at the long-term play down the line and how that works out for you. Another thing is that for any artist on here, when you're making music, music should be the thing that you love, of course, but it gets you in the room to talk to the big man about the long-term play. If you make music and you're not using it to do business, you're in the wrong game. Would you agree?
But I would even add to that. If you make music, and then you make music in a way to where you create, this infinity with your audience, that it's solid, and they're bought into the identity of what it is you're doing and the culture of what it is you've helped create and amplify. And then you go out and you start networking with all the folks that are synonymous with that vibration. You don't have to go to the big man. There's even a longer play. And the longer play is to ignore the big man.
Right.
To ignore selling whatever it is you built. And for you to be the big man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Right? So you don't have, like, as much as I like the big man, fuck the big man.
Now, there's a third play, like you said, which is you create a product. Instead of going to Samsung and letting Samsung say, yeah, we're gonna use your name and likeness, we're gonna give you 25%, we're gonna take 75%. You invest your time, your money, and your resources, you come to them with the product, and you're like, listen, I'll take 85 and you'll take 15 for the distribution, and we'll split the cost on marketing. We're going into a masterclass here, bro. We're going into masterclass territory.
So no, it's deeper than that. It's like I created this product, and this product, I own the IP. I own the intellectual property of this product. And whatever the split is on the physical product, the long play is creating a product that has some type of technical back end where it's aggregating in knowledge. The real long play is data.
Okay.
And the long play is like, yo, I'm gonna make a product. And if you have the ability to like collaborate with a Samsung and they are like, yo, I want it to be a 50-50 split, or I want it to be a 80-10, a 90-10 split, 90 us, 10 you. I would say like, yo, let's build the product. They could take 100% of the physical, and I own 100% of the digital.
Right.
Because free, you know what? Free is the biggest thing in the world. Look, we on Instagram for free, bro. And yep. Instagram is worth hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars.
Because they have the data. They have the data.
Yeah, but I want to say, like, what black business is in that business? We are not there. We are not participating in the new world. We are still worried about, like, you know, long play. And even from that perspective, that's still short play, because we have to realize the power of free. The power of free, yo, if you can figure out how to make $100 billion by giving away something for free, that's new age thinking.
You're 100% right about that. People, every night I go live at 6 p.m. I do news, opinion, rants, celebrity interviews like will.i.am. Keep watching. Monday is LL Cool J. Wednesday is Candace Owens. Thursday is Stretch. And Saturday is Lilo Brancato from the Bronx Tale. And don't forget to follow me if you're new to the show so that you can know who's coming every night. Speaking of which, your guide is heavy on tech. What are your views on artificial intelligence?
Artificial intelligence is awesome. Artificial intelligence, the idea of artificial intelligence is great, because we're going to have that's like, imagine it's 1800 and somebody's like, there's this calculator thing coming. What are your views on calculators? Like, you think that's going to disrupt mathematics, and it's going to make the mind lazier to not, do complex mathematics naturally? The calculator is awesome. It helped solve awesome problems, big problems in an awesome way. Imagine it was like 1900. Somebody was like, yo, what is this computer? Are you afraid of the computer? What is your views on computation? And then here we are with this fucking powerful computer in my fucking hand. When you say AI, fuck the movies. All AI is advanced computing. It's computing on a totally different level with like crazy math, complex math, algorithms that are like
some other shit.
Where our community, here's the reason why I think AI isn't good, is because we, Black people, are not writing the algorithms. We, Black people, are not making sure we are aiming our nieces and nephews or sons and our daughters to make sure that there are no data biases. So if we still dealing with fucking racism in 2020, what the fuck do you think we're going to be dealing with in 2030 when the algorithms are being written now on how the machine is going to be in between people? If we're fucking dealing with racism now with person to person, then we are going to have the machine to person because the algorithms are being written right the fuck now based on our behavior, based on everything we're talking on the internet right now. The algorithm is absorbing all the perspectives of human excellence or human dumb shit. So if you hear things like inclusion, I don't want fucking inclusion. Because even inclusion makes Black people inferior to somebody else's fucking empire that they built that didn't care about us in the first place. So now you want me to be included in that? How about I just get my own shit right the fuck now? How about we, for once, get our own shit? I don't want to be included in a system that doesn't want me.
Right. You want to make
the knowledge to build my own shit.
Right. I'm with you. What you said, see, you said it, we're getting into a deep conversation, but you said it, I was thinking one way and you were thinking a whole different way. If people write the algorithms based on their perspectives and racism and whatever, then that means that the algorithm and what's going on from the tech side and AI will naturally be biased against people of color. And that right there was something that I wasn't thinking about. I was thinking about along the lines of AI being the police. You know, I forget what Minority Report, the movie where, you know, where everything AI controls, AI is the police. It catches you here, it does that. I wasn't even thinking of it from a level of racism, and that's something that's going to make me go downstairs and roll in my bed from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. trying to fucking go to sleep. I never thought about it that way. And another thing that you said that was really, really strong is, if we don't include ourselves as people in this now, we will pay later.
So technology is the tool, you know? It's like a hammer. But but our culture, we would just wear the hammer as a fucking necklace. Our culture is not going to look at the hammer and be like, yo, I'm going to make a fucking house. We just want to floss the hammer. And that's something in our community that we need to compete. Once we get on, we compete and we fucking rule. We rock. F1, Lewis Hamilton. They didn't think that a black person could win every F1 race. So like, yo, boom. Once we get in the lane, we win.
I was saying that yesterday. Tiger Woods,
you know, the Williams sisters, you know, basketball was 75%
of the NBA.
But in the beginning, basketball wasn't a black sport. That became our sport. So why can't we need to want to do that? We need to want to build IP. We need to want to compete in the realm of tech. It changes the world. Think about what's coming next. Like COVID-19 hit us, and then we had the same shit that we've been fighting for years. My mama's fight, my grandma's fight, my grandma's fight just came out of nowhere. Like, yo, what? I thought we would have cooled off during COVID-19. Y'all like, what? Y'all serious right now? Y'all bringing this shit back? Oh, I guess here we go. But what was awesome about, not awesome, the only good thing that happened was people realize and empathize for once what we're going through, because they didn't have the distractions of going through. They didn't have the distractions of distractions. They just saw it the way we've been living it forever. So now it wasn't black against white, it's everybody against races.
Yes, I say that all the time.
And
everybody is racism.
so all the while, we haven't even realized that the next wave is coming. And the next wave is big companies realize I don't need everybody at work. We made money this second quarter.
Yep.
The big companies realize like, I don't need this office. We made money this second quarter. So this next wave of mass job loss, that's next.
Right.
And all the folks that have Tesla, I love Tesla. I invested in Tesla a long time ago in 2004. But we're programming the AI in that car to be self-driverless real soon. And when that happens, ain't no Uber drivers, bro. Ain't no truck drivers. And a lot of black and brown people are gonna be asked out from 25 to 2030. From 2025 to 2030, we are gonna see. You think shit's tough right the fuck now? Yo. Wait till 2025, 2030. Because people are protesting the same thing, unfortunately, that our ancestors and our, our leaders have been fighting for: equality. They ain't protesting hunger. People ain't protesting like I'm hungry. People ain't looting because they hungry. People ain't looting because they ain't worked in 2 years. That we ain't even talking about what the fuck's coming, bro. We like it always happens with music. Music came, Napster came, and it fucked our industry up.
Yes, it did.
2000. The tech wave fucks with music first. No, not even just music. If this was 1900, the tech wave fucked with theaters and operas. Because before there was a music industry, a singer sang at the fucking opera.
Right.
Before there was a music industry, the actors sang at the theater. And then radio came. They didn't know what to put on radio, so they put theater on radio. Then they didn't know what to put on TV, so they put radio on TV. It always fucks with music first. And what happened in 2000 with Napster is happening right now with we can't tour. Stay your ass at home. That's what the season is right now.
Yep.
Sit your ass down is what if you had to like summarize 2020 from March to now is sit your ass down, stay your ass at home. And then, the uprising happened and we was like, fuck that. I ain't staying home. I'm gonna risk my life to go out and protest. This is just the beginning of what's coming next. Because mass job loss is around the corner. You got to see like what companies accelerated during this time. All the tech companies, all the online digital companies, digital only, digital, no physical. So the world is being transformed right the fuck now. And if we are not in that business of the transformation, we are once again going to be fucking hooping and hollering about equality and inclusion, right? Because we ain't fucking focused right now. It's like these motherfuckers is like, let's keep these motherfuckers back again. Let's fuck with their minds again. It's a wave, bro. Every fucking 100 years, go back to 1920. What the fuck happened? And then the fucking Great Depression happened.
Yes, it did.
Right? Our ancestors were freed because of technology. There weren't slaves in the North. Think about slavery, bro. It wasn't in the North because it's too fucking cold in the North to have fucking slaves in the... Ain't no fucking farms when it's fucking snowing.
Right.
That's why Chicago, and the South is the South. Because that was America's factory at one point in time that made all the fucking products.
Right.
And then technology came around, and we don't need niggas no more. And then World War I happened, and they needed us in the factories to make war machines for America. So Detroit was born, and black people moved to Detroit. And then they moved those factories, and black people were still fucking empty in an empty city that doesn't produce anything. You got to see it's all based on technology. And I've been working in technology for so long that I see the setup. I see what the fuck's happening. I'm like, yo, I see these moves, bro. I see these moves. I see it, and I know that we need to get in it. We have enough black billionaires. We have enough black millionaires. It didn't take $100 million to start Facebook. It didn't take $100 million to start fucking Instagram. But yet, we fucking doing fucking lives on Instagram? Like, we should be fucking doing lives on our own shit. You can't trust these motherfuckers, bro. They're responsible for Brexit. They're responsible for fucking meddling with data and selling data and micro-targeting and all this shit. You can't trust these niggas, bro.
Listen. Woo-wee. Shit, I was gonna ask you about Michael Jackson. I'm all over the place now. I mean, you have given a dissertation on what people need to actually hear. What this man just sat here and told you is about the realest scenario that could take place. People, the thing with machines is that they don't say, I want to stay home this afternoon to get head. They don't go in the corner and cry because they lost their girlfriend. They don't say, I'd rather get high than go to work today. You put oil in them or whatever you're going to do, and they keep working. You know, everybody talks about illegal immigrants and, oh, they the ones taking the jobs. They ain't going to take your job. A machine's going to take your fucking job. And please, I'm going to post this up on Instagram when it's over. You go back and you watch it over because it's definitely you just definitely got an education. We're going to make this a little lighter right now. You're one of the few people that ever worked with Michael Jackson. Please tell us, for those who will never get the opportunity because he's gone, to deal with Michael Jackson, what was he like, man?
Michael Jackson and Prince were... I'll start with Michael Jackson. He was shy, and he loved music, and super like critical to every single sound. And he was a competitor, and he collaborated with the streets. Like if you think about, you know, Boogaloo Shrimp and Poppin' Taco in the 80s, these guys were just like street dancers.
Yep.
And without those guys, it wouldn't be Michael Jackson moonwalking.
Right.
So he reached out to the streets at his height, right after freaking Off the Wall in Studio 54. Think about that stuff. And then Quincy Jones was like 50 years old. He already had a career. Quincy Jones went from playing jazz, hanging out with freaking Ray Charles and Malcolm X in Chicago, and scoring films, responsible for Oprah Winfrey and Whoopi Goldberg, did The Wiz, and saw this young guy that used to be in a boy band. So imagine the optics of Quincy Jones and his colleagues, like, oh, you working with that dude? The dude from the boy band? Think about, like, you know, the Commodores and all these groups that were funk musicians, like real hardcore black music. And although they liked the Jackson 5, it wasn't, it wasn't as sophisticated as black adult funk. It wasn't George Clinton. She's a bad man, Majema. Like, she's a bad man, Majema, and PYT. Dun, 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 dun. It's like A and B, bro. You know that because you can mix the two, but one came first. And you know Mike was in the studio like, I want to do a song like She's a Bad Man, Majema. I love that song. I love it. I want to do something like that. I want to do something like that. So Quincy Jones went and did something like that. So he was a hunter. He was a competitor. Michael Jackson was fierce, bro. Like, working with him, he taught me so much. The music would never come out. One day he was like, how much you want to get paid? I was like, I don't want to get paid. What do you mean? Like, Mike, like, working with you, there's a lot of people that take advantage of you. Well, I'll pay for your flights. I was like, no, I'll pay for my own flights. I'll pay for my flights. I ain't one of those dudes. I'll fly to see you. We could work. And if the song comes out, then we talk about money. And that's why we became good friends. Because it wasn't about money. It was about having, just like creating. And when I was in the projects in East LA, all my homeboys came to my door. They're like, hey Willie, they're fucking filming a video over here in the factories, dog. They're filming a fucking video, Holmes. You tell your mom, hey Deborah, hey, can Willie come be a part of the video? So my mom was like, Willie ain't going to be in no video. Boy, you better get your ass in the house. Mama, come on, Mom, please. It's Michael Jackson. Boy, you ain't going to no alleyways shooting no video. Get your butt in that damn house. Nigga, that was Thriller. And when you see the making of Thriller, you see all those Mexicans in the alley. Those are all my friends I grew up with.
Right.
I could point every single person out in the making of Thriller. I was like, that's my friend, that's my friend, that's my friend. I was supposed to be there. And so when I was working with Michael Jackson, I was like, hey, when you film Thriller up the street from my projects in the back of the alleys and the factories, my mom didn't let me go. She was like, well, bless her heart, because if you would have went, we wouldn't be here today. I was like, why do you say that? Because you would have probably felt like you've accomplished something there. And the fact that she didn't let you do that started your drive. That became your energy. I remember we had this conversation. He was like, why do you call yourself will.i.am? Do you mean? I was like, no, I don't mean it in the esoterical I am. I don't play with that. I was born up apostolic. I don't mean I am biblical. I don't play that. My name is will.i.am because I am strong with will. I don't mean it in a biblical way. It's not God's will and I am that I am. I don't play that. That's blasphemous. My name is William. I just thought it was really clever to break it up with
To
Don.
break it up, right.
He was like, and I noticed when I sent your name on the email, it showed up as a hot link. How did you do that? How is your name a hot link? I was like, oh yeah. So I realized that I am, the AM is Armenia. So I went out and purchased all the I ams. I.am hungry. I am, I am silent. I am 41. I am I.am / anything.
Well, I am.
I got all the I ams that you could possibly name on the internet.
Right.
Every I am URL. I'm American. I'm Chinese. I am driving on Sunset. I'm turning to left on La Cienega. I am 57. I am 27. I am anything you could, everything. It's a sentence. And that's
right.
important for artificial intelligence.
Right.
It's important for the machine to understand natural language. And natural language, you got to have I am in natural language. So if you're going to use the internet for the way to the and talk to the machine the way I'm talking to you, you
got to have I am
for identification. Yeah. So I got that. Like, I've been working on this for 15 years, really, just building. And I have an artificial intelligence team now, and we've been building this natural language understanding platform for about 6 years. So yeah, Michael Jackson was awesome. I miss him.
So what's your greatest memory or greatest story about Michael Jackson? Swiss Beats said that he walked in Michael Jackson's house and the Thriller plaque was on the floor, and Swiss looked at like, oh shit, the Thriller plaque. He said, what do you want? You want it? Go ahead, take it. I don't care about it. This is the Thriller plaque. He's like, you just take this. I don't care about it. What's the craziest or the most memorable Michael Jackson story of something that you ever experienced with him?
Prince invited me to go perform with him in Las Vegas. And Michael Jackson called me that night because Black Eyed Peas were having a show at like 10 o'clock. So Michael Jackson calls me up. He's like, I heard you're in Vegas. I'm like, yeah, we have a show tonight. What time's the show? 10:30. Oh, rats, I got to put the kids to sleep. I was like, but after our show, I'm going on late night with Prince. I'm rocking with Prince at the Palms. No, at Rio, at Club Rio. You should come. Oh, no, I can't go to that. I can't go to that. I was like, yo, Mike, you should come. It would be fun. No, I don't think that'd be cool. I was like, no, it will be cool. Do you think so? I was like, yeah, let me call Ruth right now so she could get you in and make sure you're situated. But then I called Ruth on three-way. I was like, yo, Ruth, Michael's on the other line. Can you make sure that he's situated for the show tonight and put him in a nice, discreet area where no one... Thank you. I really love it. I'll be really nice. I'm coming with me, Chris Tucker, and my manager. So I was late. So I rush out the cab and I'm running down the freaking Las Vegas Boulevard to go to Rio. And so as I'm running, somebody was like, Wyclef. So I'm like,
Oh shit.
I was like, I got work to do because they still think I'm fucking Wyclef. The moment
Right.
they call fucking Wyclef will.i.am, that's when I really made it. So,
Right.
so I'm running down the fucking thing. So I get to the fucking Palms, and Mike was there. I was like, I'm so sorry I'm late. And so they took Mike to the seat, and then I go on stage and rock with Prince. So as I finish, I come and sit down to Mike, and then Prince is playing the bass. He's killing the bass on this solo. And so Prince is coming down the freaking, coming through the audience with the bass in his hand. And he comes and puts his leg like this, bro. I kid you not. So I'm sitting here. Michael Jackson sitting here. Chris Tucker sitting here. Right at me. So Prince comes up with the bass and like, he puts his foot on the table right in front of Mike's face. And so he walks away. And so Mike looks to his manager, whispers in his manager's ear, who's sitting on the right of him. And then Chris Tucker's like, damn, like everybody's like, yo, I've never seen something like this. This is crazy. So then Mike's manager comes around, sits in between me and Chris Tucker, and tells me, Mike wants to know, why didn't you mention him while you were on stage? Mind you, Mike's right next to me. He could have told me that himself.
Right.
So she's like, why didn't you mention me when I was on stage? So I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, Mike, that's not my stage. And out of respect to Prince, I can't be giving shout outs when that's not my stage.
Right.
So I'm so sorry, Mike. It's not I'm sorry if I offended you by not acknowledging your presence, but I thought you wanted to be discreet.
Right.
We're in a private area. I didn't want to like blow your cover.
Right.
So then Romaine Bain, the manager, goes back and sits next to Mike. He whispers again, shoo, 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 shoo. She gets up, comes in between me and Chris Tucker and says, Mike wants to know how come Prince didn't acknowledge him. So I'm like, this is really uncomfortable because, nigga, you were sitting right next to me. Like, why didn't you tell me? So I'm like, Mike, I'm really sorry. I don't know. Maybe he's really respecting your privacy, Mike. Like, so he's like, I gotta go. So then he gets up and leaves. Like, meet me in my house for breakfast in the morning. Be there at 9 a.m. Let's start working on music in my house. So I'm like, damn, I hope he ain't mad.
Right.
Or offended. So then I go in his house, 9 o'clock in the morning. And right when I open the door, he says, why was Prince playing the bass in my face? I was like, oh, I think he was just excited that you were there. And he's like, no, you don't understand. Prince is a meanie. He's a meanie. We've been at it. We've been at it with each other. He did it again. He always wants to one-up me and stuff. And the press always said he was a songwriter. I was a dancer. Like, I write songs too. I wrote all these songs and they don't even acknowledge. I was like, Mike, you're the greatest dancer in the world. I know, but I'm also a songwriter. And I'm just telling you this right now so we could get inspired for the song that we're writing. But he is a meanie. I was like, no, he didn't mean it that way. He was like, yes, he did. One time he tried to run me and my mama over with the car. I'm like, what? I was like, what do you mean? He was like, he tried to run me and my mama over.
Michael Jackson's mother over with a car?
Hold on, bro. He was like, yeah. I was like, and that's when I was like, you know what? I don't want to even go into it. I don't want to go into it. So we started working. We started working on music. And then fast forward 2 months later, Quincy Jones calls me. He was like, hey, man, it's Quincy, man. When you going to make my record, man? I heard you working with Michael, man. I was like, yeah, you know. He was like, good luck, man. Good luck, man. It's going to take you forever to make that record, man. I was like, no, it's going cool. He's like, how long you been working, man? I was like, well, we've been working for about a year and a half. That's exactly what I'm saying, man. You know how long it took me to make Thriller, man? It took me 2 months, man. 2 months, man. It cost me $150,000, man. I'm pretty sure you already spent over millions of dollars, man. Good luck, man. I was like, no. Everything is great. He's like, I'm pretty sure it is great, man, but it ain't going to come out. I was like, no, it's going to be great, Quincy. You know, I I saw Mike the other day at Vegas. He came to see me perform with Prince. He was like, he did what, man? I was like, yeah, Michael came to see me perform with Prince. He was like, well, if you got Michael to go see you rock with Prince, maybe there's some hope, man. Because one time Prince tried to run Michael Jackson over with a car.
So that was real.
I was like, are you serious? He told me that. He was like, well, man, go to YouTube, man, and Google Prince, Michael Jackson, James Brown, man. And at that concert, you're going to see why Prince thought Michael sabotaged him. Because they're both inspired by James Brown. So when you see this video on YouTube, after this thing, go on YouTube, type in Michael Jackson, Prince, James Brown. And you're going to see James Brown say, ladies and gentlemen, Michael, come up here, Michael. So Michael gets up there and freaking kills the mic. He freaking dances, singing and shit. James Brown's like proud of his understudy. Michael Jackson based everything off of his understanding and appreciation for James Brown.
Right.
So they were all performing for their mentor.
Right.
So then Michael Jackson goes up to James Brown's ear, and then James Brown gets on the mic and is like, and give it up for Michael, because he insists that we call up Prince, you out there, Prince? And then you see Prince getting a piggyback ride. I mean, I can't make this shit up. He's getting a piggyback ride on his bodyguard, taking off the glove, bro. And then he's on piggyback ride. His security guard turns around and dumps him off on the stage. So then Prince, like super elaborate and flamboyant, he's like doing this shit, his chest, flicking his hair back. And then he's like caressing the stroking the mic. Then he's like, he does like a pterodactyl scream, and the crowd ain't moving. So then Prince goes and gets the bass guitar and like playing the bass, and he starts humping the bass, and the crowd's not reacting.
Nothing.
And so then Prince is like, gets frustrated, so he tells the crowd to clap his hands.
Not right.
The crowd is barely clapping hands.
Right.
So then Prince goes and grabs this light pole. And then he probably thinks the light pole is secure. This fucking light pole collapses into the audience.
So Prince fucked up the whole show. He done fucked up the whole show.
So Prince probably thought Michael Jackson sabotaged him and set him up. Because he doesn't know what he was whispering into James Brown's ear, and he's probably on high or something. So the rumor has it that after that show, he went berserk in a parking lot trying to run him over in his car. And I'm not the only person. That wasn't just Quincy Jones, Lionel Richie confirmed the same shit. Like, so that was the most. Sorry, that was a very long explanation for my two Prince Michael Jackson.
It was worth it, and I didn't know if Michael Jackson and Prince had beef, but that's beef right there. That's
check it out. Kitty Wrinkles is right now. You just saw that shit, right? She said, watching the YouTube video now. Oh man, I'm telling you, I'm not making this shit up. That shit for fucking real, bro. That's like the Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson and Prince is like Kanye and Drake feuds.
Yeah, because I wouldn't say it's Ja Rule and 50. It's Kanye and Drake. You're right. It's like super friendly competition that gets a little extra.
No, the reason why I put those two cats is because Ja Rule and 50 are not global.
Right.
That's like American, and I love 50 Cent. And 50 Cent is global, but Ja Rule isn't. 50 Cent is international. There's a difference between international and global.
Global is where you can go anywhere on the planet and they know your face.
Or know your
Michael
song.
Jordan.
Michael Jordan is global.
Yes.
Kanye became global because of Yeezy. Before Yeezy's, Kanye was just international. Drake is global. Crazy, right? There's some people on here who be like, what the fuck will.i.am talking about? Nigga, I'm global, so global that y'all don't even think I'm a black artist. I'm dark.
Now you're black to the motherfucker.
Black appeases was so global that the black community don't even think that I'm a black artist, which is detrimental to the black community. Because as a black community, we should be celebrating every export. Anything that's black or brown, that should be ours, bro. You know, so Quincy Jones, so Michael Jackson and Prince, global feud, even though only a couple of people knew it, is like Kanye, Drake.
Little John, what's up? What's up, John? What's going on? You just missed a hilarious story about Prince and Michael Jackson. You just missed it, bro. You're right. LeBron James is global.
LeBron James is global. Like basketball is global, bro. But you know, soccer, football,
is global.
Like that. The World Cup, that's global. The World Series is not global.
No. See, people. I'll explain it to you like this: the World Cup is 20 Super Bowls, basically. It's the Super Bowl 20 times.
Yeah, no, the World Cup is like, yeah, it's like the World Cup is bigger than the fucking Olympics, and the Olympics is global.
Yes.
The World Cup, bro, that's like
something different. Something different. Tell everybody what you're up to before you walk out the door, man. Tell everybody what you're up to before you walk out the door, because you dropped so much knowledge and told so many funny stories. There's nothing else to say. Tell them what you're doing, man. Tell them what you're up to.
So Black Eyed Peas, we have a new record. The last record we put out, that's like a pop record, was 2011. And, you know, having an 8-year break, that could be suicidal. You don't come back from an 8-year break, especially as a trio. When the last time they saw you, you was a quartet. And when you and the Filipino and the Mexican dude come back, the corporate side or the executives are like, good luck. So Black Eyed Peas, we got dropped in 2019, and I was hurt. I had a low point because we were on Interscope for like 20 plus years. And so I was like, you know what, let's make a Latin album. This Latin shit is real dope. Let's make a Latin album. So this was right after we did our return to underground boom bap, jazz, hip hop album, Masters of the Sun. And Masters of the Sun, like after this call, go Google Get It by Black Eyed Peas. Like we damn near did like police shootings and reenacted a whole bunch of police brutality in 2018. And songs like Ring the Alarm and Street Living. Check out Street Living, where we're talking about like the prison industrial complex. And I think that's the reason why they dropped this off of Interscope. They probably thought like Black Eyed Peas, like top 40 charting albums and songs like I Got a Feeling, that's they're never gonna do that again. So I was like, you know what? Let me show them. Let me prove to them like I still can make those kind of records. And I don't know why I wanted to prove it to them. Like, and I don't need the money, but I just felt like, let me show y'all. I felt hungry again. I felt like that same person that I was when I was like 17 years old, signing to Ruthless, having to prove myself. And after Eazy-E passed away, like, yo, I could prove myself. Like, yo, I want to make music to change my community, right? So I had that fire, like, ooh, I'm gonna show y'all. And we did the record while we were on tour. We toured together in Australia, bro. Like, we were dropped. We didn't have a record company. And not that I need a record company. I don't like, you know what I mean? I don't need a record company.
Hold on, whoa. You didn't have a record company when we were on tour in Australia?
No.
No?
No.
But your record was fucking popping out there.
No, we hadn't signed to Sony yet. That was just a single. Okay,
gotcha.
We were dabbling in the Latin world. We collaborated with these Latin artists, Maluma, thank you so much, Ozuna. We had all these songs in the can. And then Sony, Sylvia Rhone, she was like, because I was kind of like, hey, y'all still want to fuck with the Black Eyed Peas in a major way to go back to top 40 so we could sell out stadiums again, even though we're a trio. Like, it's still a piece of me that felt like, I don't know why I felt insecure, because I write the songs and do all the beats, but for some reason I thought people only saw the Black Eyed Peas to be successful as a quartet.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And yeah, y'all could do some crazy, eclectic, cool, creative shit, but we ain't really gonna push y'all as a trio. Like, I really thought, like, I really was like, I fucked with my head. So I was like, you know what? Let me do the hardest stunt in the world. Let me try to come back in top 40 at 45 years old and try to get #1 records. And so J Balvin was the first cat that we worked with and released. Maluma was the first collaboration that's out right now. And Ritmo went #1. Mamacita went #1. And the new song we have out with Maluma is damn near, we got 5 million views in a day. And the album is like jam-packed with freaking like singles, bro. Like, Shakira's on a song with us. We got a song with Nicki Jams and Tyga, a song with French Montana. Like, this album is like the best album I've ever made. Like, the best album. Like, single after single after single. Like, Ritmo has more views on streaming platforms and on YouTube than I Got a Feeling. I Got a Feeling's a big fucking record.
I Got a Feeling is a fucking...
But on the streaming platforms, Ritmo's bigger. Where's the Love? Everybody knows Where's the Love, but Ritmo's bigger on the stream of the numbers. So that's what Black Eyed Peas are doing now, is like going back to like the frequency that fills up stadiums by yourself. Like, and to all the folks that are out there like, yo, this is for the streets. You got to know that sometimes that definition of streets is really for the prisons. And you got to know that if you want to do something for the streets, save a school, adopt a school, educate tomorrow, educate kids today for tomorrow. That's the streets. You can rep the streets, you can protect the streets, or you can build the streets. Because guess what? It's going to get gentrified anyway. And then that ain't our streets no more, Brooklyn. That ain't our streets no more. That's been gentrified.
You speak truth. My final question.
If it's gonna be gentrified, why don't we develop that shit ourselves? And why can't music be the freaking vehicle for us to make some capital and go out and like adopt that school? Like that school that I went to or should have went to, I'm gonna take responsibility for that. So I got a school in my neighborhood. I've had it for 11 years. We teach our kids robotics, computer science, autonomy, engineering. And I got kids that graduated for 4 years now. I got kids that go to Brown University. I got a kid that's going to Dartmouth. I got a kid going to Stanford, USC, UCLA. They're learning bioscience. They're learning freaking, engineering and computer science. I got some freaking awesome ass
serious dudes. If you go to Dartmouth, if you go to places like that, you're definitely serious. Final question. Because there's so many gems that came from this one, man. Like, you gave me way more than I could have ever thought of. What is more important to tackle in today's world? Coronavirus or racism? You have a choice to defeat only one. Which one do you defeat?
When you say defeat, what you mean?
It's gone, eradicated.
How?
Done. Forget about it. Over. Doesn't exist. Coronavirus or racism? You got a choice. Which one is the most important to tackle? Which one is the one that we need all the resources behind right now? Is it coronavirus or is it racism? Which one?
A black person solving coronavirus, because then that'll end racism too. Boom.
You think so?
Yes, I know so. Because that black person that solved coronavirus, that white person's going to need that, and they're going to see that black person globally totally different. That's how you get both of them. When we aim our youth to solve problems, and it's no longer inclusion, they know what our contribution is and what we're capable of and how we could solve problems. So I would do it that way.
Okay, I'll take that, bro. Ooh, you gave me more than I thought, man. Listen, I'm a DM you. I need those records. Send them to me. Let's get to work, bro.
And I say that because racism, that's taught. It's not a condition.
No, it's taught. It's taught.
You teach that, and then you reinforce that through popular culture, and you reinforce that with the word racism itself, because racism is always from the perspective of white people being racist towards black people. The word racist itself makes black people inferior. So like, yeah, it's psychological, bro. One psychological, one is biological. So I would solve the psychological by having us solve biological problems, and then boom, that fucking psychological fucking paradox, that psychological handcuff is nuked.
My stance is get rid of racism. I'll deal with the coronavirus. We can handle that. But I like yours. Combining both into one. Brother, I love you. We will talk later. I'm going to DM you. Like I said, I'll get you whatever records you need, and we'll get it done. I love you, man.
All right, word up.
Be safe, brother. Be safe. Be safe.
Right.
That man gave y'all some shit tonight. That's all I have to say. Like I'm a very heavy thinker. That man gave y'all some shit tonight. I usually at this time I would be ignorant. I would go back to my ignorance, but I just can't do it tonight. I can't do it. People, if you're new to the show, follow me now, and you'll know who I'm gonna have every night. Monday night is gonna be LL Cool J. Wednesday is Candace Owens. We'll probably get into a deep conversation about race and Republican versus Democrat and stuff like that. Thursday is Tretch, and Saturday is Lilo Brancato from the classic movie A Bronx Tale. It was so deep that I can't even go into anything ignorant. There's nothing that I can do now. My soul doesn't even feel like ignorance right now. We have to leave it on this. Like, we have to let the mic drop and go on to our own house. I implore you to look at this interview again, one more time. As they say in the hood, one more again. Please look at it. Please investigate it. Listen to what he said. It's real. He said something, and I'm going to leave you guys on this note. And again, people, Monday night LL Cool J, Wednesday Candace Owens. That's going to be another interview like this. I guarantee you the gem's going to come out of there, and there'll be a lot of back and forth discussion. We may not agree with each other, but it will be some shit that's said. Thursday, Tretch from Naughty by Nature will be here, and Saturday, Lilo Brancato, who played Colosino from the classic movie A Bronx Tale, will be with us. will.i.am fucked me up. He ripped me down to shreds. See, I was thinking artificial intelligence from the police and, policing with a computer and stuff. But he said if they can write racism and stereotypes into the AI, they really got your ass there. Deep shit. Deep. I gotta get on a call with will.i.am Monday, and I'm just gonna take 3 hours of my time, and I'm gonna just be like, yo, bro, fucking talk to me. Just talk to me, man. Just walk me through. Walk me through what's going on in your fucking head. Walk me through it. I didn't even get to the fact that when we were on tour in Australia, he was a victim of racism on the plane. We were flying on the plane, first class. I don't know if we were flying from Perth to Melbourne. We're flying somewhere because everybody who performs, the major artists go in business class, and you know the roadies or whatever DJs and stuff, they go in the other class. And we were on a flight, and one of the Qantas flight attendants was a motherfucker. He was a motherfucker to will.i.am. And he raised hell about it, as he should. And I didn't even get to that. Listen, racist artificial intelligence done fucked me up for the day, man. Listen, I think right now I need to go downstairs, get myself a glass of cinnamon water or some echinacea tea, and I really need to go sit the fuck down. No. He fucked me up by broadening my ideas. That's what I'm saying. I'll say this to all of you here. For those who are new, I love ignorance. I love joking with you guys. I love going live with you, weird stuff, crazy people. I love that all day. I love celebrity news. I love all of that. But one thing I love more than anything is deep thinkers. Because thinkers challenge you to think, to broaden your horizons, to think new ideas. And when I tell you that man he just tore me apart, there's nothing I can say. Did Tiana have a good birthday? Yes, she did. Yes, her little punk ass did. And when her mother came to pick her up, I realized more than anything, she looks like her mama. And I just shook my head and I said, now I got two of your asses walking around. I don't need it in my life. I really am not interested in it. I am done, Uptown Sheila. There's nothing else that I can do. Everybody join me on Monday. I'll have my regular ghetto nonsense, foolishness, deep talk, everything on Monday. And that's the thing I want you guys to understand. I do news. I do advice. I do celebrity interviews. There's ignorance sometimes, but I also mix it with things you need to hear, things you need to see. Things you need to hear, things you need to see. We can be ignorant, we can be stupid, we can talk about current events, we can talk about news, but we also got to be educated. Enjoy your night. For those of you who are fathers, enjoy your Father's Day tomorrow. For those who are mothers, that you got to do 2 jobs, enjoy your fucking Father's Day as well. Go on to your house and do what you got to do. Me personally, I expect to get a bullshit gift. I'm sure it's going to be along the lines of a tie or socks. When the fuck am I going to wear a tie? I know I'm getting a tie, but if I get a tie on Monday, I will wear it on this show. I will wear it on this show with a sweatshirt shirt. I'll just be like, look at what I got. I never fucking wear a tie, but look at what I got. I got socks one year, okay? For Christmas, I spent $15,000 on everybody's gifts, and I got fucking socks. What the fuck am I going to do with socks? You going to do with socks? Mother's Day, you can bet your ass that there's going to be the top shit going on. But Father's Day, if you get a dinner, okay, and the dinner is salad and fucking French fries, and you get a piece of chicken, they may draw the fucking piece of chicken on a piece of loose leaf and be like, listen, I couldn't afford the chicken. I just want you to know that the thought was there for the chicken. I promised I wasn't going to get ignorant. So I'm going to get off now because I don't want to ruin the spirit of what will.i.am laid on us, man. Have a good night. Be safe. Enjoy your Sunday. I will see you guys Monday.